Hello, friends. Welcome to the Career Guru Podcast. I am your host, Steve Yanovsky. What a glorious day it is to start your path on a new career. Doors are opening here at the Boston Career Institute even as we speak. And I'm here holding the key for you. So tune in, stay sharp, and enjoy yourself. This is going to be great. Hashtag Let's Career Up.
Greetings, my friends, conversationalists, thrill seekers, aspiring career gurus, accomplished career gurus. Everyone out there in the guru land, it is I, Steve Yanovsky, your guru, coming to you across the internet waves to bring you yet another installment of the Career Guru Podcast. You know, in preparation for this podcast, and, I do actually prepare for this podcast, I was thinking, what could I possibly talk about today and stay focused and stay in line with what we've been discussing over the last few weeks about career growth and development. And I thought about myself, of course, myself. Not blowing smoke up my own hiney here, or trying to, make myself seem larger than I actually am. But the fact of the matter is, I have achieved quite a few things in my career so far in my life. And this is why I'm doing these podcasts, so I can share some of this knowledge with you. And I was thinking to myself, what could I possibly talk about that would be relative to me and my success and my growth that I could share with you and help you in your pursuit of financial gains and emotional, financial satisfaction from your employment, which is really what I'm here for. I want unbridled wealth to be showered upon you from the Almighty and through your own efforts in this world. So everybody is going to have a lot more money and be charitable with it and do good things for yourselves and for others. So what made me? How did I achieve a certain status in life? And yes, education, experience, and so on and so forth. But in reality, as I thought about this, what was it that drove me to succeed? And believe me, the answer may shock and surprise you. It was stupidest things, the dumbest things that I could have done, and had nice people around me who weren't afraid to use tough language that I can't repeat on across the airwaves here. But you can use your imagination, the things that I have been called for the stupid things that I had done. Now, I've done quite a few things, but my focus has always been in healthcare. And so I'm going to share with you first one or two dumb things that I had done that really propelled me forward. So how I got into healthcare is a topic for another discussion, but it happened in the United States Army. And when I came home, I decided to seek employment in the first places that would hire me. And the first places that would hire me were a local community hospital as an orderly. And an orderly is a job that really doesn't exist anymore. Somebody gives you an order and you go ahead and do it. And you had pretty wide latitude of what you could do if the order had been given to you. So once I realized that this lowly position was something that could give me exposure to every facet of healthcare, I took full advantage of it. And people took full advantage of me too. But I was going to tell you about the really dumb thing that that happened to me on the very first day on the job. So there I was as a young man. And at the time, as an orderly, you had to wear all whites in the hospital. Here I am, this young man, I was told to go to some hospital ward. At the time, that hospital still had a ward, which means all patients were in the same room, pretty much. And I go to the nurse's station and says, "Oh, you're the new boy." I said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm the new boy." He says, "All right." He says, "Go over to that closet, pick up a clipboard and a thermometer, and go around the ward and take everybody's temperature." So I went into the closet. I found the clipboard on which we wrote down people's temperatures. And I found two thermometers, one blue, one red. I like the red one. And so I went with the red one, and I took everybody's temperature. And I come back to the nurse's station with my filled out clipboard, where I took everybody's names and, their, whatever number, and recorded their temperature. And the nurse says, "Oh, aren't you nice? You did everybody's temperature. And I see you took everybody's rectal temperature." And to those of you who don't know, a rectal temperature is the one that's measured in somebody's buttocks. And so I said, "Well, I did not." She says, "What temperature did you take, honey?" At the time, they still called you honey and boy and stuff like that, and it wasn't an insult. And so I said, "Well, ma'am, I took everybody's oral temperature." And for those of you who don't know, it's in the mouth. She looked at me, she smiled kind of coyly, and she says, "Well, you used a rectal thermometer." So that day, my first day on the job in healthcare started with me using a rectal thermometer in every patient's mouth. And this was back in 1980s when things were just a little bit loose. Now, that was, a relatively dumb thing. Now, I had received a verbal thrashing from that nice nurse at the nursing station later in private. She called me all sorts of names, but she gave me a set of instruction that I have never forgotten to this day. What did I say? I was going to share with you one or two stories. Well, I'll share with you another story. Number two story also happened to me. Pretty quickly after this event, I was sent down in a hospital to the sterilization department, where I found that certain packages were wrapped in tape that had black lines, and a certain packages that were wrapped up with tape, but which had no lines on them. And I thought that all the tape had to have these diagonal lines on them, black diagonal lines. And so I took a Sharpie, a marker, and I started drawing diagonal lines on that tape. Little did I know that those black lines came on the tape automatically once you had put the packages into the sterilizer. And lucky for everyone that day, an older gentleman who had worked in this department for a while came up to him and says, "Boy," he said, "what do you think you're doing?" Just like that. And I said, "Well, I'm drawing these lines." He said, "You must be the dumbest so-and-so in the world." And he went off and, he called me a bunch of names. That went on for about 10 minutes. I'm standing there with that Sharpie in my hand. Am I drawing these things, or what am I doing? What did I do wrong? And then he proceeded to tell me, says, "Listen, Dunny, this is what you do and this is how it works." I'm very grateful to that older gentleman, and I'm particularly grateful for the explicit manner in which he expressed himself to me and gave me this education. So education that I acquired in Realville, as you know, I'm the honorary mayor of the city known as Realville. I received this education, and I probably wouldn't have received it in college, which I proceeded to go to immediately thereafter, and so on and so forth. But I received many, many poignant lessons in this city called Realville before I became its mayor, its chairman, its police chief, all of the above. So I had done some really dumb, uninformed things in my life, in my professional career, as it began to develop, and as it developed. And believe me, I'm not done yet making stupid mistakes. They're just a little bit bigger now. Sometimes I scratch my own head and I wonder, what the heck did I do? Or why did I do it again? So, making stupid mistakes is one thing. Not learning from them is another. Making a mistake, making an honest mistake and fessing up to it is a learning process. No one is going to hold it against you. But refusing to learn from mistake is where the problems actually are. Pawning the mistakes on somebody else, that is a real problem. Not accepting responsibility. So, in order to continue with this topic, I had constructed a few bullet points for myself that I would like to go over with you, how making stupid mistakes pay off in the end. How do they make you achieve professional growth. I think from my sharing these stories with you, you may have already gotten a sense of how this may work. But let's start with the topic that we talked about before. In my bullet point list, usually I go from 1 to 10. This time I can only come up with 1 through 6, maybe a few more, but these are some solid salient points. And the point number 1, that making a stupid mistake and then living up to its outcome and making sure that you won't do this again builds resilience. Now, in my previous podcast with you, I spoke at length about resilience on several different recordings. Okay. But in today's, it takes first place, because when you receive an education from someone who is not afraid to mince words, who don't mince words, and to tell you how it is, this is key. You may be tempted to cry. You may want to assume the fetal position and suck your thumb, but you will never, if you have any pride or any self-accountability and responsibility, make that mistake again. It humbles you, but as we talked about, humility is key. Be humble, but not too humble. You come back, you are a better person after accepting responsibility and accepting the teaching methods that other people use. You don't necessarily have to be offended at people who are giving you this education in the most blunt and sometimes really offensive language. I'm not condoning this behavior, but I got to tell you something. It worked on me. And if you really do a little soul searching, you will find that sometimes it works really well. Okay. So once you go through this traumatic experience and you learn to recover with a little introspection and humility, after facing some embarrassment, you emerge much stronger and much more flexible and much more resilient than before. I highly recommend this approach. Don't just blame someone just because it's going to make you avoid some pain. Accept the pain, feel it, and resolve not to go through this again. Then you will succeed, my friends. Now, what else happens? The number 2 thing that I came up with as how stupid mistakes make things work out for you in the end is to sharpen critical thinking skills. Yes, absolutely. How do I fix the mess that I got myself into? When you accept self-responsibility, if you don't swing into that ugly place called denial, you have to look at what went wrong. That reflection will build stronger decision-making skill and improve your ability to anticipate the same problems or similar problems in the future. That is critical thinking. If you didn't know what it was before, you do now. Number 3 on my list on this hit parade is accountability. Owning your mistakes, especially the obvious, stupid ones, demonstrates your integrity. Hiding behind various, who's at fault here, not me, not me, not me, doesn't make you look good. Saying, yeah, I did that. It's me. I did it. Sorry, it won't happen again. It shows maturity. It builds trust with your colleagues and supervisors. Once you are known to be a responsible individual, there won't be stopping you. Believe me when I tell you, accepting responsibility, taking on accountability, taking your lumps does hurt. It does hurt. There's no way around that. But the fact of the matter is, you move forward a stronger, more resilient, more respected individual. Okay? Going along with number 2, critical thinking and accountability, next will come enhancing your problem-solving skills. Yes, absolutely. Critical thinking does address this somewhat, but enhancing your problem-solving skills is a separate bullet point that I have for you. Every mistake is a puzzle. Figuring out how to fix it will improve your ability. It will improve your ability to troubleshoot and adapt and overcome. It's an incredibly important part of your professional life. Being able to adapt and overcome adversity. That is the most amazing part. Okay, and that comes with improving your problem-solving skills. It doesn't happen on its own. It won't happen if you don't make mistakes. It will happen if you make mistakes, accept mistakes, be accountable for your mistakes, and make them happen. Doing stupid things and taking accountability makes life lessons stick. You can sit in school all day long and go through various case studies. It may leave a mark, but living up to the stupid mistakes that you make, the how can I put it to you, the punishment that's doled out to you by life itself, by your supervisors, your coworkers, the ridicule sometimes that you have to face. I mean, I looked pretty ridiculous with that thermometer. I felt like I wanted to fall right through the floor. I wish the earth swallowed me whole. I didn't know what to do with myself. Laugh, cry. I don't know. On one hand, it's funny, but how would you feel that, the 50 people on that hospital had that thermometer put in their mouth, okay? And, somehow everybody recovered, everyone lived. And, I didn't lie about it, and I took my lumps. And I grew. And so those lessons in life, they do stick. All right, so remember that. You're going to be in a much better place. Last but not least, all these things really encourage innovation. Fear of making a mistake will kill your creativity. If you're not afraid to go out on the limb, if you're not afraid to go out and do something, try something, and then do it, make a mistake, do it, make a mistake again. People who don't do anything don't make any mistakes. People who do something, they make mistakes, but they go on to win. People who don't try anything, people who don't make mistakes, don't learn a thing. Okay? No one is perfect, especially people who do things. Okay? If you can embrace an occasional misstep as a part of your learning process, you're certainly more likely to take smart risks and reap big benefits. Remember what I said in the beginning. Stupid mistakes don't make you unprofessional. Refusing to learn from them does absolutely. But once you learn, once you go through this pain, once you go through all of these terrible things, the embarrassment, the ridicule, the self loathing that a lot of us go through. How could I have done this? Why did I do this? That's okay. Go through it once, go through it twice. You won't go through it 3 times, and everything is going to be good. Learn from your mistakes. These mistakes leave a mark. It stays with you forever, and you could have your own podcast and share your own stupid stuff that you did that made you a professional that you are today. And on that note, the Career Guru is signing off, wishing you all the very best in your careers, in your personal life, in your finances, and may God bless you all. Talk to you soon.
Well, friends and aspiring career gurus, this was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I feel enlightened, I feel empowered, and I'm feeling grateful that we spend time with you. For more information about Boston Career Institute, please visit our website, bostoncareer.org. Boston Career Institute has 3 campuses located in Brookline, Massachusetts, Malden, Massachusetts, and Lowell, Massachusetts. Call our toll-free number, 888-383-6058. For questions, comments, and/or information about our podcast, email me at thecareerguru@bostoncareer.org. The Career Guru podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, bostoncareer.org, or wherever you stream your podcast. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your rating and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by PodPro Entertainment, The Career Guru lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. Hashtag the new radio. Looking forward to seeing you soon. All the best to you. My name is Steve Yanovsky. I am the Career Guru. May God bless you. Hashtag let's career up.